Okay. Good morning. Welcome to the Open edX conference. Please welcome our speaker for today, Volodymyr. He's going to do a 90-minute tutorial with probably a little Q&A session on the topic of hands-on modern mobile dev for the Open edX platform. Please give him a nice round of applause.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Volodymyr. I'm delighted to be here today to talk to you about the new modern mobile applications for Open edX. Today's tutorials consist of two parts, theoretical and practical. In the first part, we will explore the project's architecture, structure, and technical stack by comparing them with the old one to show how the new one could solve disease. However, the main focus will be on the practical part of app stemming and customization, where we will explore the topic in depth and even build a small feature to provide hands-on experience. Upon completing this tutorial, I hope you will have all the basic knowledge of how to work with project and how to customize it for your needs. So let's dive in and start exploring modern mobile development for Open edX. And let's start with the architecture and figure out how to work with it. First of all, we will explore the challenges presented by the existing solution. And the current apps architecture, unfortunately, it's no architecture, but massive view controller. Massive view controller is a common problem in mobile development. It pertains to cases where view controller becomes too large and complex, making it difficult to manage and maintain the code base. A case in point is the authorization feature. The issue here is not in the count of line, but in the complex of logic. It's not a complex feature. This is a usual one for the most application, but due to strong coupling of business logic, networking, and UI layer, it can be hard to extend or find something specific in these files. And to be honest, it's not the most challenging feature in the application. In certain parts, it can be extremely frustrating to locate or troubleshoot something. For example, this is how process of implementing ScoreMix block into all current Open edX applications looks like. This is our iOS engineer trying to extend the download manager. Okay. And what do we suggest in order to avoid this? Clean architecture. Let's define what we mean by clean architecture. It is an architectural approach that emphasizes separation of concerns, use of dependency inversion, and creation of testable and maintainable code. It promotes modularity and flexibility by separating application into different layers of abstraction. This allows for easier maintenance and testing of individual components, as well as the ability to swap out underlying technology without affecting the overall architecture. And now, in simple terms, what all of these abstractions mean to our code. Usually, implementation consists of following three layers, folders, or packages: presentation, domain, and data. Presentation is all about displaying data, user input handling, data validation, and navigation. If presentation needs some data or business logic, it calls domain layer. The domain layer, also known as the business layer, is a key component that focuses on the core business logic, rules, and entities specific to the problem domain the application is designed to address. The domain layer is independent of any technology or infrastructure concerns, such as databases, user interfaces, or external services. This separations allows business logic to be more easily understood, maintained, and tested without being affected by changes in other layers or components of the application. And data layer, also known as the persistence layer, is a component of application architecture responsible for managing data storage, retrieval, and manipulation. It serves as an abstraction between application's core logic and underlying data technology, such as databases, file system, or external APIs. So again, Presentation is only for displaying data, the domain layer only for business logic, and data layer is only for manipulating of data and entities. Following the simple rule of such three entities will save you from many problems. And so we slowly got to the structure of the project. And for better understanding of the full value of new structure, I propose to consider the problem of the current one. And as we see here is a single module application with endless folders. Here is iOS and here is Android. Whoever finds where profile edit is located receives an extra point. And my personal biggest pain is a view package in Android project. If you don't know the specific file name or what are you looking for here, you probably don't find this file. It's 88 files just in one package without sub-packages. Okay, and one more silver bullet. It's modularization. Modular architecture in application pertains to practice of decomposing an app elements into smaller, reusable, and interchangeable modules. Each feature in the application is represented by a specific feature, so you will not have problem to find the right class or functionality. This approach has several benefits, such as improved code organization. By separating components into modules, developer can better understand and manage the structure of the code base. This organization facilitates code navigation and make it easy to locate specific functionality. Scalability. Since modules are self-contained, it's easier to add or remove feature as application grows. This flexibility allows developers to build scalable app that can evolve with changing requirements. Reusability. Modular architecture promotes creation of reusable components that can be easily shared across multiple projects or within the different parts of the same project. This reusability can lead to increased productivity and reduce development time. And of course, faster build time. Modular architecture allows incremental builds where only the modified models are recompiled. This approach can significantly reduce build times and improve the development workflow. And final component of the theoretical part, but no less important, is technical stack. I don't see the point in a compare of whole stack of the old and new applications. Old one is just outdated, and in 2023, no one wants to develop an application with Objective-C or pure Java. But more exciting points that we can discuss is what UI development framework to choose in 2023, imperative or declarative one. And of course, we will give a point to the declarative one. Why? The answer is easy. In imperative approach, developers explicitly manage the UI updates by writing code that manipulates UI component directly into state changes. This approach usually requires more code and can be more error-prone, as developers need to handle every possible state changes and UI update manually. Declarative differs from imperative approach by focusing on the desired state and letting the UI framework handling the updates. The result is cleaner and more expressive code. Okay, let's just compare code and see. For an example, we create a list of items and handling tab events just using imperative approach and declarative one. So let's start with iOS and using UIKit, its imperative approach. Here, developer create a class for the cell. UI for the cell must be created and configured here. Then developer creates a table view, registers the cell, configure table view, provide data source, and configure the cell in data source. And for Android, the situation is very similar. To be honest, it's too much code for just showing a list of items. And the same example, but in a declarative way, you just create a view for item and put it in the list, that's all. And the same example for Android with Jetpack Compose, you just create a composable function for your view item and put it in the lazy column. As we see, the result in both frameworks is very similar, but what's the most important? It's shorter and more expressive. But more importantly, why we should use declarative UIs. It says that both UI frameworks for iOS and Android have built-in tools for easy theming and customization. For instance, we have capability to customize our application easily to something like this, or this. And that's not all. We will practice it. So I hope you didn't get bored with the theoretical part, as now we're transitioning to the practical hands-on experience, where we will attempt to put all of these concepts into practice ourselves. So before we begin, please ensure that you downloaded all resources and materials for the practical part, because it's important. If not, otherwise, just download them now. So, yeah. I already have that folder. We have a few folders with resources for Android. It's a few images, colors, and code snippets. For iOS, one image that we'll working a little later, and our repositories and branches. So let's start with the cloning project and all of that. So let's open the browser, copy the URL on the project. You can just find it in Google or use search in GitHub. Click the green code button, copy it, open terminal, navigate to the folder where you want to clone your project. For example, let me do documents, demo projects. Oh, I already have something in that. Let me clean it. Yep, now it's better. And run command git clone and put here your URL.
Share.
Yeah, what?
Is this the screen you share?
Yeah, this one. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, now navigate to the project folder and check out to the, firstly, let's see the list of branches. Run command git branch A. And we have to check out to the branch tutorial start. Otherwise, if you want to see already finished result, you can check out tutorial finish and just see code and listen to me, what you prefer. So I'm checking out to tutorial start. Great. And before we can run the project, we have to install its dependencies. So just run pod install. And let's wait a little. Great. Now we can open the project. Please ensure that you're opening that one file, Xcode workspace, and not the blue one, Xcode project. It's important. Great. Then please, I hope you see everything that small text. Click on the top left corner here and select new edX prod target, because that target configured for specific LMS that we need today. Great. While project is indexing, let's do the same for Android. Okay. Great. And we can close terminal. Where are our materials? Here. Let's copy the second URL for Android. Again, navigate to the page, click green code button, copy the URL, then just open Android Studio. Here it's a little easier. Click on the top right corner, get from VCS, put here your URL and specify the folder where you want to put your project. Click clone button on the top right corner. Okay. And here in the bottom right corner, we see currently we are on the main branch. So again, we have to click it here and check out the tutorial start, or otherwise, if you prefer, tutorial finish, if you just want to see final result. So let's check out. Great. Okay, and now we will try to customize our application into something that we saw on the screen of slides. Just for start, let's see what we have now, just how it's looking for now. I'll open some example sign-in view. Great. Refresh the canvas. I think I can make the text a little bigger. Yeah, good. Let's wait a little while building. And while it's building, we can do the same for Android. Just sign in fragment to show sign in view. Build and refresh the preview. What? Okay, seems like some issue of Android Studio. I hope you didn't have that. I'll just resync the project. Yeah, now it's good. Let me check and rebuild. Okay, build and refresh. Okay, while it's building, let's switch to iOS. Oh, okay, it's already rendered. So here we see how it's looking application for now. It's in a light theme, and here's in the dark. And let's customize it. So we have to open the core module where is everything core things is located. And here find the assets catalog. In assets catalog, you can find the colors folder, where is all colors for all components of the application, and you can play with all of it and customize. Good. Okay. And for now, we change our application to in a light theme to something green and in dark theme to something orange. So open the iOS folder here and please open colors file. And this is list of colors that we change. Okay, let's start. For accent color in the dark theme, in colors folder, click on the accent color, click on the dark palette. On the right side of Xcode, you can find show color panel button and specify your color here. Or you can select here content, not this one, input method, yeah, to 8-bit hexadecimal and change your color here as you prefer. Okay, now the same for accent color, for light theme actually. And lastly, background color for dark theme. For light theme, it will be the same white color, so we don't need to change it. And style button background, we can find it in the style button folder. In most cases, button background and button text, all of this, it's usually the same color as accent color, but in this project, it's separated for more flexibility for customization. Or if you have a few brands color, you can use one for accent elements and another one for buttons, or what you prefer. So for dark theme, I'll change it to orange one. And for light theme, I'll change it to green one. Great. And also in the dark theme, I want to change text inputs. You can find here the folder text inputs, and we change background for color text input background, obviously. And text input stroke for outline of this text field. Great. Now let's back to our view and check how it's changed. Okay, now we see accent elements are now green, but the image is incorrect on the background. So I want to also change this one. Navigate again to the asset catalog and find here aus background image. In your materials folder, you can find two images, aus background dark and aus background light. So just change it images. Yeah, like this one. for images, run clean build folder, and let's refresh our canvas. Yeah, refresh this, please. And it should change. Okay, now it's green for light and the orange one for dark. And the next point, what if just color is not enough for your customization? You want something more, you want to change the fonts, typography, shapes, all of that stuff. So in the core model, you have the theme file. In theme file, you can find everything what you need for your customization. Here is the whole typography. Here is shapes and timeouts for alerts. So, for example, let's change a button shape to something unusual. I'll change top left corner to 0, top right corner to 20, for example, bottom left to 20, and bottom right to 0. And not this one file, but this. And let's refresh it. Okay, some cache probably again. Strange. Let me check. Maybe we need to clean build folder. It can sometimes happen in Xcode. It's not the best idea in the world. And again, refresh. Okay, while it's rebuilding to don't less our time, I propose to change also something more. For example, text input shape, it's now like some square shape with rounded corners to 8, and I want to make it like fully rounded to 22 point, for example. Let's change it and check. Okay. Yeah, oh, it's changed. Okay, now we have that a little weird button, but maybe we need this one for our style, and rounded text inputs. And now let's run it on emulator to check with real data and how it's worked with like a real device. I run it on iPhone 11. And again, please ensure that you selected the prod target because it's configured for special LMS with special authentication. I'm sorry. Yeah, great. Let's open. Okay, do you see it? I can make it maybe a little bigger. Okay, here we see mostly the same. I can switch one thing to another. I'll log into my account. You can create your own account through registration. So I want to log in and see how it's look inside. Okay, and here everything looks good, but we see the problem on the bottom. It's that colors don't changed. And what's the problem here? It's that we also have to change the accent color in the main model that specify colors for the system elements. So just open here the assets catalog, select here accent color, and you can just copy paste that accent color to here. And Let's relaunch the project. Great. Yeah, now it's orange. Now it's green. Then other elements, let's check. It's orange, everything orange. And in cars, oh, okay, it's all changed. Great. And now let's do the same for Android. Okay, in Android, our views already rendered. Let's refresh it. Seems like not all rendered. Yeah, let me zoom it a little. Okay, how its application looks now, mostly the same. It's a light blue for light theme and dark purple, something like that for dark theme. Here we can see preview for all devices, great. And to customize Android applications, the flow mostly the same. Open the core module, open the core package, find here UI package. In UI package, it's theme package. In a theme package, it's theme file. Okay, it's how Jetpack Compose works. So here we have a dark color palette and light color palette, and the all palettes that we need to customize. We don't need all of the colors, but you see now. Again, open the folders with materials, and here find Android file with Android colors. And in the same flow, just copy that and change primary color to new primary for dark theme, background color for change background of your page, surface to change color of surfaces. It's like mostly the same as background color. Text accent for, where is it? Here. To accent color, it's like the same to accent color, but a little changed. Text field background to another color. Text field border to another color. Button background, the same color as the primary color, but again, separated to more flexibility for development. And let's change also card view backgrounds for dark theme. And for the light theme, it's a little shorter, just primary color, text accent, and button background. Maybe I also can make a font a little larger. Yeah, it should be more comfortable for reading. Great. Again, and oops. Again, navigate to our sign-in fragment and check it changes. I think we need to refresh it. What's the problem here? Okay, just let's clean project. And build and refresh. Fine, it's changed. The dark one is orange and the light is green. And again, the images here is wrong, so let's change it. Open the materials folder and find here the three images. I will use the orange one, green one, and if you want, here's extra purple image for your needs. So in core model, find the res folder and drawable folder. Here we can locate a core top header. It's our images for light theme and dark. So let's change it. Copy the dark image and paste it to drawable folder. Change the drawable folder with night suffix to put it for a dark theme and remove dark suffix. Okay, and click override. Let's check it. Yeah, it's changed, green. Okay, and green one to just drawable folder without night suffix. That will be applied for light theme. And again, remove suffix to override the existing file. The both of them changed now. Great. And let's build and refresh. Okay, seems like Android Studio just don't want to work today. Let me just relaunch it. Okay, now it's changed. Great. I hope now it will be everything a little faster. And again, let's change the shape of our button and our text inputs. Navigate to the core module and to the same folder UI theme. But here we have also a few files like type file with project typography if you need to change fonts and that style, and shape file with shapes for all components for the application. So let's change it again. Let's create a button with some red form, like, let me check. Its top start, let be 0 dp, top end, let it be 20 dp, top end, and it will be 0 dp, and bottom start will be 20 dp. And text field shape also I want to change to something more rounded, like 20. And build refresh to see changes. Yeah, it's changed. As we see, our button now it's a little bit form, and our text input is rounded. Okay, now let's launch it on the emulator and see with real data. But before we launch it, please ensure that in a build parents, in a bottom left corner, you selected a stage debug build, because in our config file for this branch, here specified the URL for stage to work with it. So please ensure that you selected stage build parent. And let's launch it on some emulator. Make it a little bigger. Great. Good. Installing, great. Again, I will use my account. You can create your own through registration. It's great. And totally the same problem. We here on the bottom the wrong color. And again, we have to change the main colors for our main model of application to tell the system what color should be used for the system elements. So for a core model, navigate to value folder and colors. Here is specified the files for the system colors. So, and we have to change the primary color, because for example, you also can play with background and splash color. Open the theme folder file and just copy that color for dark theme and put it here, remove 0x. And the same for light theme. Primary to new primary. Great. And relaunch it. I hope it will be faster. Great. And yeah, as we see now, colors are green. And let me change it to dark theme to check. Yeah, good. Now it's dark with orange. So, okay, now we know how to customize application with colors, shapes, and all of the stuff for our needs. But for now, we will go further and create a brand new feature for mobile application. Open the materials folder, and here we can find the image for mockup of the screen. It will be course progress for a user. Here we see course name, course banner image, overall course progress, few text blocks with just progress bar, and some list of sections with subsections with text that it's some progress or that section without progress. Actually, nothing hard, so let's implement it. Again, let's back to iOS and find here core, not core, but course module, where's all our stuff for course. Navigate to presentation folder, and you can find here progress folder with our view for progress. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time to implement this feature from scratch, so I've done some routine work and prepared a few files for that. I've created a view file, view model, made a request and parse the result. So we all see it now. Here we have a view. In view, we have a view model. It's observed object to observe changes, a bunch of variables, init block, and body for our view. Here we see some stack to arrange our views, scroll view, and mostly that's all. Everything it's just tools. I left that a lot of comments, so I hope that will be easy for you to understand what that stuff do. For example, this stack, a view that arrange its abuse in a vertical line, lazy stack like the same, but create items only what it's need and for each, okay. And for now, it's mostly empty view for light theme, for dark theme, and we're gonna change it. But let's also check the same view in Android. Navigate to the same course module, course folder, presentation package. Find here the same progress folder and open course progress fragment. And here we have mostly the same view model, a few functions of just a fragment for life cycle of screen. But our compose starting here, it's course progress screen. Can it make bigger a little? Yeah, great. Here we have a scaffold composable for our screen to make it size, background color, and all of it. And a few variables for adaptive screen, for like screen width and image case, to make it available for tablets. And the most interesting started here with our surface, column, and all of the things. We will work in this area. And in our preview, we see mostly the same, just empty screen and few previews. So again, let's take a look on our mockup and implement the thing. So firstly, we see here name of the course, image, and course progress. So let's start with it. Let me check. Great. So let's back to iOS. And here you can find comment, start implementation on 49 line. I'll just remove this one because we don't need it. Remove the to-do block. And here we start with loading image. To load image, we're using Kingfisher framework. So let's just call it have image. Pass here URL with course banner. Okay. Now let's also add on failure image. So it's everything goes wrong, it shows it image. It will be core assets and no course image to get it from assets. Great, we already see it, but let's make it more good. Make it resizable. Make it aspect ratio to content mode fill. Yeah, we see all of the changes in real time on our canvas. Next thing, limit that frame to max case to 50. And let's add also some corner radius like 12 and padding like from horizontal to 6 points, and for top like 7. Great. What's wrong? Let's refresh. Oh, yeah, because I didn't specify the number. Great. And then the next point we see here next to do, we don't see it on our image, but for every screen that fetching some data, we need to provide a progress bar to show users that something is fetching. So here progress in a view model, we have that variable for when our view state is showing progress, we will use it. What else we have in our view model? A bunch of variables and function for fetching progress. Okay. Progress we will get a little later. So remove here no, please, to do block, and just provide a view if we need it. We just want to specify the desired state for that for our screen. So just if view model show progress, we will show progress bar with some size around 40 and line width around 8. You can play with that numbers. It's nothing with it. Okay, and provide a padding like top 50 and limited frame to max width infinity to put it in the center. Okay, we don't see it now, so let's change a condition to see it. Yeah, now it's here. Let's return condition. Okay, and the same for Android. Let's back here. Find here a column. Column, it's like you can find a comment here. It's a layout composable that places children in a vertical sequence. It's the same to vertical stack in iOS. So I'm gonna remove this stuff, remove to do block, and provide a banner. So in Android, we already have a composable for showing course image and certificates. So let's just call it. We use it composable on course outline. We have to pass here modifier for view sizes and all of that stuff, course image and course certificate. For course certificate, just provide a null. For course image, provide course image that we have as the parameter in that function. And for modifiers, provide a new modifier. Fill max width. Give me a second. Yeah. Well, we already see it here, but it's a little too large. Limit it haze to image haze that we already calculated here for tablets and for fonts. The next thing, add a padding to 6 for apply it for each size. And that's all. Okay, we see it here, and let's change the dark theme. Yeah, here's better. And the next thing, it's progress bar. Here we see the when statement where we're parsing the state for view from our view model that we can find here. Let's make it a little bigger. Yeah, great. Here we have the same init block, bunch of variables, few view states for view, and function for fetching progress data. We also can, open the interactor repository. And here's nothing interesting, just API fetching some data and mapping it to domain models. So, okay, good. So let's close that stuff and back to our view. And yeah, let's provide here a progress bar for our view. How to do it? Just create some layout. I'll use a box. It's like a layout to put a child on each other, but it's not important for now because we need to just any layout to make it full width. And make it just circular progress indicator. It's just system elements, nothing interesting. Provide content alignment center to put it in the center of that box. But the most importantly, we have to provide a modifier to make it fill max width, and also some padding from top 50. FTDP. Yeah. We don't see it now because in our preview data we have state for already data that we have. So I propose to change it. Just comment data, add the loading and put a comma, and we have to see progress bar here. Yeah, we see it. We can run an interactive mode to see it like interactively. Yeah, we see it now with animation. Good. And again, return our data state because we need it a little later. Good. Let's again take a look on our mockup. And what we have here next things, it's few text blocks with course progress and progress bar. So let's do the stuff. Again, switch to iOS and scroll a little bottom and find here progress that we fetching and unwrapping from view model and lazy stack. Again, lazy stack, it's a stack that doesn't create items until it needs to render them on screen. Remove a to-do block and create here a hash stack. It's horizontal stack to arrange items like in horizontal line. And just create here two text blocks. The one provide just overall text progress. And next text, just our percentage of progress and percentage sign. Great. Let's add some styles to it. Let's specify the font. Font again, we can take from our theme fonts. And I'll take a title medium here. And again, foreground color from 4 assets, text primary color and color for SwiftUI, and just copy it to here. But as we see now, items too close to each other, so we just add a spacer here to stretch it on that layout. And don't forget to add a padding to HStack. Oh, it's from Android. Yeah, great. and you know, let's also add some. I think let's specify the what padding we want, because we want a horizontal to 20 and top to 20 points. Great. And the next point, it's a progress bar. So we can use already existed element from SwiftUI. It's a progress view or something like that. But I wanted to show you how it's easy to create your own elements in SwiftUI, like brand new news, like progress bar. Here in progress folder, you can find course progress bar file. And what we have here, it's geometry reader. That's a view that reading size for our view. It's dynamically, so if we add some paddings here, it's also change its size. We need for calculation, and we just create a one capsule like this gray color for background, and the next capsule with accent color to show the account progress. We have preview versus view here, a little button. We can play with it numbers to check it work correctly. Yeah, I can like corner cases like 0 and I don't know, 28. Why not? Yeah. Okay, as we see, it's really easy to create your own view. And now let's put it here, where is to do course progress bar. Just call course progress bar and pass here progress percentage. Let's check it on the preview. Okay, it's too big, so let's add also some padding like horizontal 20. Good. And I wanted to specify a case for it view. I need a frame, case 20. Good. And let's add also some padding for bottom elements to add a little more space from bottom. Good. We can check it in the light theme and in the dark. And let's do the same for Android now. It's also super easy. Find here our when statement with course progress UI state data. And a little below, we have a lazy column. Lazy column is the same thing as in Swift UI, lazy with tag. It's a vertical scrolling leads that only composes and lays out the current visible items. And here we have two things like item to put only one item and items to put an array of items or something like that. So in this item, we add the header with overall course progress. So remove to-do text and provide a row. Row, it's composable layout that arrange items like in a horizontal line. So create a text. And here just provide a row, course, progress, text. Let's specify the style. We can take it from material theme, typography for text style, and let's select title medium and color to specify a color. Again, material theme, app colors, text primary. And the next text view for our course percentage. We can take it from UI state, progress, and don't forget to specify percentage. Yeah, we see it, great. And what we need more to provide a few more modifiers. Let's use our favorite Filmax width. Let's add padding to horizontal 20 dp and padding to top 20 dp and bottom something around 10 dp or what you prefer. And now we also want to add some space between the two views. So here provide a horizontal arrangement for layout and provide arrangement space between. Let's see. Okay, now it's good. And the next thing, we want to add our progress bar. And again, in Jetpack Compose for Android, it's super easy to create your own views, to draw your brand new view for like on your own. We can scroll a little bottom, a little down, and find here whose progress bar composable. It takes modifier to a subject modifier to a canvas and progress percentage. So what we have here, it's a canvas to drawing, and we just draw two lines. One, let me scroll to show it. One with gray color with the start of set to 0 and end of set to canvas width. With stroke width to 10 points and with stroke kept around. And the next line, if our progress more than 0, we provide the same line, but with with color to primary color, and we calculate the end of set to show the progress. So also we have here a preview where we want to play with the numbers to check that it works. Let it make a little bigger to you. Okay, we can see it here. It's 100, then let's check like 10. And I don't know, 90. Right, so all of that really customizable and easy to customize and create what you want for your need. So let's just copy that function and call it here, a little below the row, edit, and provide two things, modifier and progress percentage. To progress, use just the same UI state progress. And to modifier, provide again modifier, fill max width, and some padding horizontal. Let it be something around 24 points. And yeah. And I think we also want to add some padding from top. Sorry, padding. Top to what you prefer, for example, 10 dp. Great. We see it in a dark theme and light theme. What's the next thing we have to do? It's just a list of sections. So let's do it. back to Xcode, find here a little below our array of sections and for each. As we see here, comment for each, it's a thing that provide views based on a random access collection, where it's like usual for in imperative development. So remove the to-do text. If comparing to imperative approach, now we're creating something like a table view or collection view for iOS. So here it's like layout for our cell or something like that. And here we just want to start with this header of section, the section name. Okay, so it will be just a text block to which we provide a section display name. We see it already here. It's displayed. Provide a font to theme, fonts, body large, foreground color to core assets. Let it be text primary, SwiftUI color. Great. The next thing, let's specify it frame to max width infinity. And as we see it now, it's center, so we have to also provide alignment leading. Good. Again, let's add some paddings like horizontal 20, vertical 5. And don't forget about background. We'll take it from core assets, accent color, SwiftUI color, but it's too bright, so let's make some opacity to a half, if you prefer. Okay. And the next thing, we have to add subviews, like that thing with progress of subsection or message that it's no progress in that section. So it's a little complex view, so I propose it to you to move it to another file and create a new brand view again. So it's super easy. Click on a folder, click create new file, select here in user interface section SwiftUI file, click next, and provide here a name for your file. For me, it will be course subsection view. Create. Good. Logically, that view will take subsection structure. So let's pass it course progress subsection. And we have to provide that subsection to our preview. So if you want, you can create your own data, or I propose to get already mocked data that we already use from course repository. We have some mock here for SwiftUI set for displaying some data, and find here the function with course get course progress, and you can just copy course progress subsection from here. And I wanted to put it here. Remove extra C. Okay, now will be work. So let's create our view. To arrange our view vertically, we have to provide vertical stack and with alignment leading. Remove the content block, we provide it with closure. And here we show text. You provide here subsection title. It's computed variable that collect display name and some earned and total scores. So let's back and see it. Okay, while it's loading, let's add some foreground color to some core assets. Okay, we don't see core assets here because we have to import our core model with all our utils. Okay, now we have access to it, and call accent color to make it like accentable. SwiftUI color, of course. Let's add some font, something about body large. Great. And specify a frame to we don't need a frame here actually. And let's change our body large to title medium here because body large will be probably too large for this view. And let's add padding to 10. Okay, good. We already see it here. It's a green for light theme or light theme. I can specify that here also dark theme. Maybe we will do it a little later. And the next thing, as we see on our mockup, we have two options here. Our view can have two states, with progress and without progress. So let's start with without progress and specify if subsection or is empty, provide a text that the section without progress. It's super easy. We can test it, just make our array empty. Yeah, we see it here in the preview. Let me make it a little bigger for you. Great. I want to return our score because we need it for another text. And here we're gonna just show progress. So to show progress, we have to collect it for the score array. So let's do it. Right, let score equal subsection score. And let's map all of that data to a new string. I have to provide it here, new string. /0 $0 earned /$0 possible. And now there's just array of strings. So let's join it to one single string and provide a separator like a few spaces. And put it here. Let's check what we have. We have our view. Great. And the last thing what we have to do is just put that view here and provide a subsection that we have already here. Let's check it. We see it here, but also let's specify some padding for each. We can apply a padding for a whole for each to apply it for each view. Great. Now it seems perfect. So I propose to run it on emulator and check with real data. Let's wait while it's building. Great. I've already enrolled on a course mobile demo course. So I'll just specify, navigate to the dashboard, open it, and here we have a progress tab. I can click on this tab and see the course progress. So I passed info section 5 from 5. So I have a 56% of completed course. Great. And let's do the same for Android. Open Android Studio, scroll a little down and find here the items. Here we will do the same that for Android. Just remove to the block, provide here a text view, and provide here a section display name. We already see it here. Great. The next thing it's again our modifier to place our view correctly. Let's make it fill max width, and let's provide background for it. It will be material theme, add colors, primary. Yeah, but again it's too bright, so I'll make it in half. And okay, it should work. And of course, we have to add some extra padding here. Yeah. Starting to vertical, it'll be something around 5 dp, and horizontal, it's our 20. Yeah, great. And our subviews, subsection view. So again, it's a complex view, so let's create a new composable for it. Scroll a little down and let's create a new composable function. I'll call it like a progress subsection item, somewhere around it. It will take a subsection model, progress subsection. And here, let's just provide a column to arrange our views, like vertically. The column will provide a modifier. We're starting horizontal 20. And let's specify here a text that will be subsection title. Here it's computed properties that collect our display name and earned and total score. So I'm gonna put it already this view for 4 and pass here section to see the data on the preview. Yeah, it's here, great. Let's also customize the text by providing style and text color. For style, I'm gonna provide some like body large, probably. Body large. And for colors, it will be primary color. Yeah, it's our accent color. Great. Let's see the result. Great. And for dark theme, the same. Good. And yeah, let's change it to title medium because it will be better. Good. And again, we have 2 states for this composable. Our subsection can have score or not. So let's write the desired state for both of it. If our subsection doesn't have some score, we provide just a text to tell that section without progress. Provide some, let's copy just to make it faster. Provide a style, specify color to text primary, and style to title medium, it will be good. And the same, put text here, progress. And we have to collect our progress to put it here, the same to iOS. Let's do it, val for equal subsection score. And here it will be a little shorter. We don't need map, we just join to string. And provide a custom separator to like a 3 space signs or something around it. And here just provide our new string. It will be, let's specify a variable here. It will be score. For possible, not possible, but earned slash for possible. Great. And just provide its score to our text. And yep, it's here. Great. So what we have here now, let's also run it on some emulator and check with real data. Yep, go to dashboard, open mobile course demo, navigate to progress, and what we see here, yeah, it's course progress to 56, course sections, and course progress, a few sections without progress. Good. And I'm gonna change it to light theme to check it with a light theme. Yeah, as we see, it's applied on runtime. And yeah, now we implemented our brand new feature to our application. Thank you all for your attention. Now, if someone needs help to do it now, you can raise your hand. Maybe I can help you. Or if you want, we can make Q&A session. What you prefer? Does anyone have questions? Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Models like if sync in really basically syncs, it's like a separated mini project or something like that. It's fully independent of any project, so we can publish it to somewhere repository and connect to any another projects. And how it works? So let me show it here. Do you see here models? Okay. We have a app model. It's a main model for application who is control our application, who calls another models, who have a navigation, who have all of the dependencies. The next important model, it's a core model. Each of these models have dependency to core model. I can show it you here, for example, aus model have dependency from core model. Core model, it's like a core for each feature with all core functionality like colors, style, stemming, and feature like we reuse, like let me check something. For example, extensions or exceptions that every model have, or some database, for example, for downloading files and can be located here. So each model can use this functionality. And the same for Android. The structure is really the same. So if you know one project, you can definitely use another one. Here we have the same, the main project for application with a router for these models and for app delegate who running all of this stuff. Core model with all of that core functions, core functionality, with usually it's protocol, interfaces, abstractions for another models, some extensions and some utils that every module can use it. And another features, each features let open again, like for example, profile model. That feature have dependency. See, it's too small for presentation, but I hope you see it. It's a core model here in dependencies. So profile model depends on core model, and profile model have that usual 3 layers from clean architecture like data, domain, and presentation, and our views in presentation. So we can locate everything where you need. So yeah. Thank you.